Hey guys, this is JAde with Dallas Jamming, and today we're going to be looking at the analog rhythm workflow, which is technically the electron workflow. If you learn one machine, the rest will come much easier. So let's get right to it. To select a track, we press track and one of the 12 pads. There's 3 ways to input notes into the sequencer. If the record button is lit, we can simply place our steps on the step sequencer. To use the pads, we need to live record. Hold record and press play to begin the sequencer. When the record button is blinking, that means the rhythm is ready to record. To stop record, press the record button again. The third way is to live record into the step sequencer. Our first 12 steps resemble the 12 pads, so if I press step 5, pad number 5 will light up. Let's record. My timing was a bit off. By pressing function and trig, we can quantize our whole pattern or individual tracks. I only want track 5 quantized, so I'll choose the second option. Let's add some more instruments. This pattern is only 1 bar long right now. I've been working on just 1 bar lately because conditional trigs make all the difference. What are conditional trigs, you ask? Only the funnest thing about electron machines. Observe. I'll put a step on 7 and 11, but I only want them to play a certain percent of the time. I set step 7 to 50%. And now 11 will play under a chosen condition. There's a few conditions to choose from. Pre means the trig will play only when the previous trig does. Negative pre means when the previous trig plays, the trig that follows won't. It's a bit hard to wrap your head around at first, but it'll soon become second nature. So now, even though my pattern is only 1 bar long, the possibilities are endless due to conditional trigs. Let's lower the percentage a bit. No matter how you record it into the track, you can input notes any way you wish. We can also set any steps to retrig by pressing the step and holding the up arrow. We can set the rate, length, and velocity. Now I'm going to make this a conditional trig. Did I mention you can tune each step? Simply hold a step and turn the tuning knob. Let's add some more conditional trigs. By holding 2 steps, I can set the percentage for 2 trigs, and they will still play at different times. Let's edit some more parameters on these steps. As long as you have the steps held, you can make changes to that step's parameters. You can see a change is being made on the screen. We get a white box around our parameter. Let's add a little bit of reverb and some delay. Let's keep adding to this beat. Obviously, those 2 things on every bar would be super annoying. Do you see why conditional trigs are amazing now? Once you get used to them, it's hard to find a workflow without them. Actually, let's make this a neighbor track. The tracks to the right are tied to each other. The analog rhythm is only 8 voices, so some tracks have to be shared. If you place a trig on the same step, one will overstep the other, but worry not, this is not a downfall, thanks to conditional trigs. Neighbor condition means one track will be affected by the other track. So in this case, my conditional trig on track 4 will only play when the one on track 3 does. Let's add some more to track 3. Turn off the delay on that step. Change the filter settings. Let's make it a retrig. And lower my sample end time, which gives it a decay effect. Let's add another track. Okay, so as you've seen, these buttons to the right affect our sound. The buttons on the top left affect our performance settings. We can mute tracks, we can cue our mutes and unmutes by holding function. We can play most tracks chromatically. We can access scenes, which allow us to shift our patterns in ways unimaginable. Performance mode does the same thing, but a pad needs to be held in order for the effects to take place. A new addition to the rhythm is the performance knob. By holding perform and choosing an active pad, we gain control over the performance parameters at the turn of a knob. We can mute the performance if things get a little wild. We'll take a deeper look at scenes and performances on a different video, so stay tuned for that. Quantize these notes. If we want to adjust the micro timing of an individual step, simply hold the step and use the left and right arrows. The button next to trig controls our internal synth engine. The one next to it controls our sample engine. We can layer analog sounds with a sample on the same pad, or we can choose to exclude one or the other. Let's take a look at the new fill button, which is a genius addition. The fill button is affected by conditional trigs. I'm going to place a few steps on my sequencer and edit a few of those steps. Now steps 9 through 12 are all set to fill. Let's add some more to the fill to make it fuller. Now when we press fill, all the notes set to fill will play, giving us a bit of a scatter effect. To cue the fill, hold function, then fill. We can motion record any parameter by activating live record and turning a knob. The steps in yellow are the motion recorder steps. And last but not least, to save a pattern, hold save and pattern. That's it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If this is your first time here, don't forget to subscribe, give it a thumbs up, and support a sister on Patreon if you can. Catch you later.